I guess it's I don't know how to edit it. Edit it. All right, so you guys had a chance to look at my website on Belize, but do you guys know why I picked you for this project at all?
No.
Okay. Well, mine's Belize, my country for developing world. So I decided to Belize. I picked Casey because she's just walk around the back. I picked Casey because she is in developing world class and was studying Tonga. I picked you because I can't remember what country you're studying, but I know you picked one.
Okay.
What country is yours?
It's the Cape Verde off the west coast of Africa.
West Coast of Africa. And then you're just the American perspective. So we're trying to, compare between the countries and what you know in your country or what you don't know. Because I wouldn't know a whole lot about the American stuff. And then, what about Tonga? So is there anything interesting, I guess, that you saw on the website? Something you didn't?
Not really. I mean, there's probably missed it if there was, but Belize. I'm not sure actually where it is.
It's in Central America.
Central America.
It's a little bit below Mexico.
Okay.
Right on the bottom there.
Do they speak Spanish?
No, they speak English.
Really?
Actually.
It's the only English-speaking country in Central America.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it used to be a British colony, like, for a really long time, and they just never got around to. I don't know that they never got around to doing anything about it. It's just like, because they were so used to that rule, even though they weren't really being ruled by the British. Like, it was just kind of like they were. It's like they were colonized by Britain, but they were still like doing their own thing. Like, Britain wasn't really like on top of them, like being a big role in their development stuff. But because they were British rule, they picked up the English later. There's also a Belizean. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like Belize, so they got their own language that they do, and it's not quite as popular. Spanish is another language that they speak there, but it's mostly English. So if you want to visit Central America, Belize is the place to go.
What about the religion?
Religion, they're mostly Catholic, I think, like most Central American, South American countries are.
Yeah.
I think there's a mix of a lot of stuff, but I think mostly it's Catholic and other Christian is the big chunk, yeah, and then we got a little bit of everything else. And I think the Mormon population would fit in like the last 1 to 5% or something of all the religions that are there.
In Tonga, it's like the second most popular religion.
What?
Mormonism.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
It's like the Pacific Islands.
I never looked that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't know it for America either. I think Christianity is like the
number one religion in America.
Yeah, I don't think we've got. Well, I guess it's kind of Protestant and everything kind of fits into Christianity, but I don't really know a whole lot about specifics. Because I'm in Macomb. Did you guys ever talk to a lot of guys or a lot of people about religion and stuff in Macomb, like back home?
Like in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like a lot of people that I talked to, they were non-denominational Christians, and so I thought that was like the main. I mean, it's not really a religion; it's non-denominational, but that seemed to be the most prevalent in, at least out there. Do you know anything about California?
Oh, they're all over the place. Like Catholics, because there's a lot of Hispanic people, and then
I guess that's true, yeah.
like Christians a lot, but there's a lot of like agnostic and atheists and Jewish.
Yeah.
Very.
Because I served my mission and a lot of people were like Catholic, but not really like practicing Catholic. I'm Catholic, but I don't do anything
No,
about
that's
it.
not much.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes they don't even do that.
Christmas and Easter.
The Creasters? The Christmas and Easter? Yeah, Brace, he served in Germany, and he said a lot of the people that he talked to were agnostics.
Oh.
Like, well, at least the younger generation were agnostics.
Yeah.
Just because that's just what's happening, I guess. Agnostics and atheists is the rising generation, basically. Older people that he talked to, I can't remember what they were over there. Maybe Catholic or whatever. Catholic seems to be a pretty prominent religion all over the world.
Yeah.
The oldest one, I guess.
So like comparing Belize to like other countries and stuff, like how well are they doing? Are they like
They're
pretty good? Or?
they got some stuff going on. They're pretty. From what I've been able to find, it seems like they're pretty much staying in their own country. Like they're not branching out to do it. Yeah, they pretty much stay. Everything they produce is mostly for themselves, and they don't do a whole lot of importing or exporting.
Really?
But I think that's kind of the reason why they haven't really like grown a whole lot or developed into a bigger kind of like. But also, it's a tiny country,
Yeah, it's pretty tiny.
and it's in Central America, and so like they can grow a lot of stuff, but it's for their own use and not.
For their own game.
Another thing, like there's all that I could find was one international company from Belize, and everything that I looked at, I couldn't tell what they did. Like I looked at like 3 different websites that talked about this international Belize company or something, like IBC or ICB, something like that, and it wasn't very descriptive about what they did. They just said that you could like partner with them in your business or something. Maybe they do connections between countries. I really don't know. It was kind of confusing. But that seemed to be like their only like international thing, and I don't think they have like chain restaurants like McDonald's or anything. They seem pretty much stuck in their own little thing. They're just kind of like closed off, and I think that's what's played a big role in that.
If they're so
Keeping
closed off, how do they get money and other things? Are there any like specific parts of Belize and like how they operate that like helps them do that?
Well, most of their stuff is from their own country, so they're able to kind of support themselves. But they're trying to focus on tourism to bring in more money, and I think that will bring in a lot more like other foreign things, because you got a bunch of foreign people coming to your country. They're gonna want some of their own like comforts from back home, and so they're gonna wanna like all Americans.
Right?
Yes.
Easy place to go visit. It's all English speaking.
Yeah. And they've got like some like historic things from like the British Empire, and I think they've got a ski resort. As far as I think so.
Sounds equally though.
Because there's like mountains or something near there.
Yeah, sure. So.
Or some, and there's also some other resorts that they're trying to get people to come to, because they've got a lot of coast. Because like basically half their country is coastal.
They can do like spa resorts and like those big West hotels.
Yeah, that would be their main draw, is the coastline and resort stuff.
Like Sandals. It's like a huge resort. It's in a lot of tropical and like connected areas.
I haven't heard of Sandals. So comparing Belize to
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, was there a lot of differences? Could you tell?
Biggest one is that Cape Verde needs to import like everything. They are landlocked. They're out in the middle of the ocean, like 100 miles or 200 miles off the coast, and they can't really make their own stuff.
Huh.
So they have to import so much stuff just to stay alive out there if they want to live out there. Like, and their water source is not very reliable at all. So they have to. So people can't even get clean water out there. It's a resort town as well. Not town. Multiple islands, and so it's just a resort, vacation place for tourists to go.
So it has access to like water, like
Like the most thing they can probably provide for themselves is maybe some grown farming and then fish, because they can go out to the sea and get all the fish they want because they're surrounded by it.
yeah.
But that's probably like most what they can get out of, unless they import other foods and.
So then they have to it's like a big port kind of thing.
Pretty much, it was discovered by the British, and then they just used it as a port since then. And then people just started colonizing them.
Interesting.
So those islands have like mood swings because they like can go from nice to a drought almost instantly.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why it's hard to grow their own food there as well. And it's also like somewhat volcano islands.
Huh. So that seems weird that there's a lot of water around, but they can get into a drought.
Well, yeah.
California.
I guess that's true. California's right on the coast, they get droughts all the time. They got like flooding going on now, don't they?
Yeah.
I saw some pictures earlier. There's some people like floating around and something. I don't remember exactly what the picture was, but it's somewhere in California. They're having a flood now, I guess. Oh man, drastic. Does that like drastic climate stuff do anything to the country? Like, or I mean, like, other than you said like the plants, but like culture stuff, I guess.
Culture-wise, I don't know. I just mostly focused on what resources they could obtain for themselves because of us as I don't know, they import more than they export.
Yeah.
Same with Tonga.
Exports and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no, they import more.
Import.
Because they just have really good soil, so they can grow some stuff, but other than like with the technology and all of that stuff, they have to get it from New Zealand and Australia, which is just like, here's Tonga, here's Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, they're pretty close. Because Belize seems to cut itself off, so it doesn't have a whole lot of technology, and it grows its own stuff, so it doesn't need it. But it is right there on the coast, and it has the access to do it. I guess that would be a good thing for them to focus on. And what I thought was interesting is they're pretty much eradicating a lot of the diseases going on. Tuberculosis and malaria is not really as big a thing as it was anymore.
As development goals.
Yeah, and HIV is basically non-existent there, which kind of surprised me because I thought HIV was I guess I just thought that HIV was a bigger thing than it really is. The lack of media coverage.
Isn't it like malaria is pretty low too?
Yeah, malaria and tuberculosis
I
are.
think in Tonga, HIV and malaria are like this close away from being non-existent.
Pretty
In
cool.
Tonga.
On Cape Verde. Cape Verde is all about those eggs.
Well, it's right there in Africa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Not in Africa, but off the coast.
yeah, I mean, but that's like where HIV is most prevalent, at least I think
Mm.
it's most prevalent.
It is.
It's kind of
So
surprising me how well they're doing as like a tiny country they are. Even though there may not be many people there, but like just being able to get rid of all the like diseases and things like that and actually attain their goals.
mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Another thing they were working on, like their poverty and stuff, pretty bad.
I was actually gonna ask about that.
Yeah, poverty is not so great. I think that's their worst development goal that they've got going on there. The diseases I thought was pretty. They were pretty well off.
The women's rights, they don't have an organization for
Yeah, they've got some stuff going on for women's rights. Like there's this program that helps women. It's like it trains them in leadership stuff so that they can get into politics or just get more opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then like their mortality rate isn't too bad. They're not exactly meeting their goal that they wanted, but it's not horrible. At least I think it's 17 in 1,000 deaths. So like 17 out of 1,000 like births and stuff. Yeah.
There's 11 out of 1,000 births.
Can't remember from mine, but it was below 20.
Yeah. See, so it's not. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not. Because their goal, they wanted to get down to 5.
I think in the U.S. it's still like 7, so it's not like the U.S. is like 2 or something. It's still pretty.
Yeah. So a goal of 5 for a country like Belize.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Well, eventually, but it seems like that's because if a developed country like the United States is still only at 7, Belize's goal is to 5. It seems like a pretty lofty goal. But if you want good things to happen, I guess.
They do lots of people up.
So, of the millennial development goals, which one for your country do you think can never, but most likely not be attained?
Ever.
Or
the one that they're the farthest off from is the poverty.
really?
Yeah, the poverty and hunger seems to be the biggest thing. Their education, I mean, it's okay, but their ratio isn't too bad. It's just the further they get along in school, the more they drop out, just because it's easier to get a job and start feeding your family and helping everyone else. Because they don't have a whole lot of money, they don't have a whole lot of food, so you gotta try to get into that stuff as soon as possible. Because I was looking at the how many go into primary education. I can't remember the exact statistics, but they're pretty much even between boys and girls. And then secondary education, they're still pretty even, but then tertiary education, I think is the next one. A lot of boys just aren't even there. And so...
Is that because they just drop out, or is that because there are cultural roles that they have to fulfill?
I think it's just because they drop out to start working and helping out their family and trying to make money. So I'm not sure if it's exactly like women are more in the tertiary education, or if it's just not. It seems like it's not very accessible, but mostly it's because they want jobs and things. But another thing that was surprising was the can't think of it now. No, see the gender equality, the disease was it's on. I think those are the best it's doing in. And what are the development goals? I can't draw a blank on most of them. Environmental stability. Their focus is on because they've got the access to the water. They're not too worried about the water stuff. They're more focused on environmental stuff, and disease control. And then
The education, the poverty,
poverty and hunger,
mortality rate.
mortality rate. See, they're trying to get more women to actually have a medical professional to be there with them. And I think they're at like 97% of all births have a medical professional, which like when they made the goals, they were like way below 60% or something like that.
Wow.
So they're doing pretty good on that. And the other things that you guys thought were
Improved maternal health. There's the one that we're missing, but
Yeah.
just talked about.
now that from what I was looking at, the programs were kind of like shared between like maternal health and then the gender equality, because a lot of them were focused on women so that they could like have money and have credit and stuff to be able to do the things that they wanted, and that played a whole lot of role in the maternal health and the birth rate and stuff and the mortality rate. It all kind of played together, like in 2 or 3 different goals. It would the one program or the 2 programs would do a whole lot of the work, it seemed. In Cape Verde, was anybody paid to go to school? Like any of the families, would they get money if their kids were going to school? If the families were?
No, I don't think so.
Because some of that happened in Belize.
The only thing I noticed about school in Cape Verde is that there's more women attending than men.
Is that kind of the same thing, that men drop out to get jobs and stuff?
It might be, but it's just they probably just drop out because they don't think they need it. But I'm not really sure why they drop out. It's just more women are attending than men are.
In Tonga, the like high school graduation rate is like 98% of like both genders. They take school pretty seriously, I guess. And
That's
they've
pretty
got
cool.
a couple universities in Tonga.
Yeah. I wish I knew the statistics for the United States.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's 71.
71%?
Yeah.
Wow. So they're a whole lot better off then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not better off, but
Yeah. On that. Kidding.
yeah. Yeah. Any other things wanted to mention or bring up?
What was the coolest thing you learned about Belize?
Well, you guys know the McAfee guy?
No.
The guy the antivirus guy?
Mhm.
He ran off to Belize to like hide out, and then supposedly killed somebody, and then ran away again. And there was a baseball player who was born in Belize and got into the major leagues, and then his son, I think, did the same thing, or maybe his son just went into minor leagues or something. But so a couple baseball players that kind of came out of there. Most of the cool things seem to be people that had gone to Belize to get away from things instead of people from Belize actually coming out and doing big things. Because I was looking for like music groups and things like that, and nothing really was.
That's how Tonga was. I couldn't find any like music groups from Tonga. They all just listen to American music.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. In Chile, when I served my mission there I would see a lot of like American music or music from Argentina, and there was only like a couple bands that actually came from Chile that people listened to. Most of it was
Like
from everywhere else.
that.
I can't remember. There was like the I think those are Argentines. Huachichuras there, like a gangster kind of band, I guess. Like a ghetto band, I guess is what it would be more like. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I didn't have it. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
Sounds good.
All right.